Hey guys, welcome to In the Garden. On today's video, I'm going to show you how to start your own vegetable seeds at home, which is actually a lot easier than you might think, and it's a great way to get your kids and grandkids excited about gardening. You're only going to need a few things to start your seeds. You're going to need some containers, either store-bought containers or even just plastic cups. Work really great. This is what I prefer. It's really cheap and really easy. You're going to need soil. You could use bag soil or you can mix your own. The store-bought bag soil is great. They have seed starting mixes. Those will work just fine. I use my own soil mix. If you want to mix your own, that's a really great way to do it. If you want that recipe that I use, read in the description what I put together. It's a great soil mix for starting your seeds. You're also going to need plastic wrap, a permanent marker, or some other way to label your containers, and some kind of a tray. The aluminum baking trays, the throwaway ones, those work really great for putting your plants in. And of course, you're going to need some seeds. Make sure you read the back of the seed packet because there's lots of information on there. It tells you how long it's going to take to sprout, when you can harvest, how to plant them, where to plant them. There's a lot of information, so make sure you look over that carefully before you get started. Okay, let's get started planting the seeds. First thing you're going to want to do is if you're using any kind of a cup and not a plant container, you're going to need to make sure there's a hole in the bottom. Plant containers will have a hole already, but if you're using just plastic cups, you're going to need to poke a hole or drill a hole into the bottom so that the excess water can drain. The next thing you're going to want to do is label your containers so that you know which plant you're putting into which container. When you're planting lots of seeds, it's easy to get them confused and you want to know which one you put into which container. Then you're going to want to fill your container with soil. You don't want to overfill the containers, but you do want to fill them up pretty much to the top. You want to leave a little bit of room so that you don't have water flowing over when you're watering them or anything like that, but otherwise you want to fill the cups or containers all the way up. Once you have the container full, you're just going to make a little divot. You can use a pencil or anything, or just your fingers. You're just going to make a little hole, usually about a 1/4 inch deep. Depending on the seeds, it might be a little bit more or a little bit less, but about a 1/4 inch deep is how deep you want to put it. And then into that hole, you're going to put 2 seeds. It's important that you put 2 seeds because sometimes they don't sprout. Something's wrong with the seed or it doesn't get the right conditions met, but the other seed will sprout, and that keeps you from having a bunch of plants that you planted and you don't end up having anything sprout. Once the seeds are in the container, you're going to gently just cover them with the surrounding soil so that they're covered. You're not going to pack it down. You want to make sure that the soil around the seeds stays loose so that they can sprout and get their roots in really easily, and they can also get up out of the soil to get the leaves up. Once you have them covered, the only thing you need to do is give it a good amount of water. And when we say a good amount of water, we mean a good amount of water. It's going to drain out if there's too much right now, but you want to make sure that the soil is thoroughly damp. Otherwise, the seed's not going to be able to germinate. Once you have all your seeds planted, you're going to want to put all your containers into a tray, and then you're going to cover them with plastic wrap. That's going to help to keep the moisture in the seeds into the containers so that you don't have to water them every single day. When you have them all covered, you're going to want to put them somewhere warm to get the soil temperature up. You don't want to put them in direct sunlight. This is important because if you put them in direct sunlight, they can actually get too hot while they're covered, and that can kill your seeds. So you don't want to do that. You're going to put them somewhere warm. If you're only planting a few, you can put them up on top of your refrigerator or somewhere like that where it gets just a little extra heat to get them warm. You can use heating mats that you can buy at the store or online, but that's not really necessary most of the time. You're going to want to check your seeds daily and make sure that it still looks like the soil is damp. If it looks like they're getting dry, you can take the plastic wrap off and water them a little bit, but usually if you have that plastic wrap on good, they should be okay to last until they start to germinate. When you see that your plants have started to sprout, you're going to want to take the plastic wrap off. It's important at this point that you get them into a bright source of light. They need a lot of light to be able to grow properly. Putting them next to a window with a lot of sunlight coming in would be great, or you can use artificial lights such as shop lights, or actually grow lights work well, but they're a little expensive, so you definitely don't have to have that when you're first starting. You're going to want to keep an eye on the soil and make sure that it stays damp. When about the top ½ inch of the soil starts to get dry, you're going to want to water your plants. If you're using a tray that's solid on the bottom, you can actually just water into the tray and the soil will pull the water up into the plant as it needs it. So that's a really great way, but you still want to be careful you don't overwater. So only water every few days when the soil starts to look dry. When the seeds first sprout, they're going to have a set of leaves that are not true leaves. And you'll see this when they sprout, that they look different than the second set of leaves that the plant is going to get. When you see that second set of leaves come in, you're going to want to pinch out any extra plants that are in your cups. Remember, you planted 2 seeds per cup. Some of those cups, both seeds probably sprouted, but you only want to have 1 in each cup to give it the best chance to thrive in that container. What I mean by pinching out is exactly what it sounds like. You're going to pinch off the extra plant. When your plants are about 4 to 6 inches tall, you're going to want to start hardening them off to get ready to plant them outside. If you don't know what hardening off is, make sure you watch my video where I walk you through how to do that and why you want to do that. Here's a great tip to help you get a head start on hardening off your plants while they're still inside. When they get to be about 1 to 2 inches tall, you can put a small fan near the plants. You want it to blow on them gently and directly, but not to where they're getting thrown around or where they're going to get damaged. But this helps them to start getting accustomed to wind blowing across them while they're still inside. This is great because then when you do the actual hardening off process, they already got a little head start on that. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video or you got something from it, make sure you hit that like button. If you want to get more videos like this, hit the subscribe so you can get all our latest videos. Thanks. Have a great one.